Yeah, so Beast Gohan was the Ultra. I did predict it though, so there's no complaints here. But Red Beast is a different conversation, and for it to make sense, you have to watch the whole video. But leave a comment because I'm taking them a lot more seriously. You could potentially see your comment in the next video. Beast Gohan, Red Beast Gohan. This guy here was an absolute monster, dropping for the Festival 2023. Headlined it and absolutely stole the show.
Aww. Poor Evo Ken.
Such a mighty unit, but one that is no longer even included in the top 20 usage list. Such a popular character, such a good kit, but has faded away due to time. Let's talk about how this happened. Okay, my name's Zakashi, guys, and in this video here, we're gonna be discussing the downfall of Beast Gohan. The day I'm recording this is prior to the festival finale, so if they drop the Ultra Beast, let me know in the comment section below. But at that same time, if they drop the Ultra Beast, there will probably be a segment at the end of this video explaining how his value has gone up. But Red Beast Gohan, man, such a classy unit, probably one of the best, if not the best, legendary finish available in the game. Let's go through his story. Let's address his release first. So this unit here released in the 2023 festival. He was shown second, completely stealing the hype from the other festival unit, Evo Ken, which is Super Saiyan Blue Evolution Vegeta, one of the rare few times where Vegeta is the starter of a tag unit where Goku's also on it. Then of course Goku in his Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken form. On his banner, they dropped the Gotenks, a yellow one, and this guy has endurance and he's quite tanky to say the least. Now it should go without saying, even though I'll go into his kit in a bit, this guy is single-handedly oppressive. This guy's blue card would do so much damage, you have to worry about him actually going to hit you. And this isn't the first time we've seen this, because this isn't the first Beast Gohan. It was almost as if the blue Beast Gohan got reincarnated into this guy. The only difference is the whole game is in a more advanced state, so he wasn't able to solely own the game. He was by far, in my opinion anyways, the best unit. However, a lot of people would argue at that time, whether you believe it or not. Some people might think I'm making this up, but I'm not. Evo Ken was better. Some people might say that. And the reason is because he could do these 99 combos, similar to what we see now, but they're not infinite. Once Evo Ken catches you in a combo while he's on the boost, boy, that combo is going to be long and he's going to do good damage. But the argument was, why would you take all of those cards that's going to be 99 plus when you can match it in 1 second? Just one card, one blue card is matching everything Evo Ken can do with that 99 plus combo. It just doesn't make sense to take Evo Ken over Beast in my opinion, but you guys let me know what you thought about the time. I've already done a previous video discussing the fall off of Evo Ken and why I went wrong for them. But outside of Beast Gohan being super oppressive, he was also just super flashy in his animations. If you look at the blue Beast Gohan's legendary finish, it is very good, but the angles are nowhere near as clean as this new Beast Gohan. Especially with the sparks, the environment and the zooms, it's actually not debatable. This new Beast Gohan is such a flashy look. You could also compare it to the movie and you would see he's literally almost matching it. And that says a lot in my opinion. The fact that he could be anywhere near the movie in a game, wow, he's cooking. So having probably the best looking unit we've ever seen in Dragon Ball Legends animations wise, while also having the most oppressive unit, checking both of those boxes for any unit in Dragon Ball Legends is such a big deal, because even if you do fall off, people will still be inclined to use you because you look good. But he's also a super hype character, which should go without saying. He's literally the main character for the Dragon Ball Super superhero movie. But I don't think it's just that. There was so much more hype pulling towards him because it's the return of Gohan being a powerful character in Dragon Ball. We all know Gohan, after the Cell Saga, he completely fell off. Bro wants to be a scholar. Do what you want to do, bruh. But your dad is literally the GOAT, bruh. Follow in his steps. Don't listen to your moms. He had a little bit of shine with the Ultimate Gohan form, but we know he can't catch, so he pretty much just screwed that up. And since then, we haven't seen him do anything spectacular. In Super, for the most of it, pretty much all of it outside of the manga, he's an absolute scrub. And if you were a Gohan fan during those times, it was truly an embarrassment, man. People were hanging on to the nostalgia of Super Saiyan 2. But with the release of the superhero movie, having Gohan go into this beast form, they replicated his iconic transformation from when he went Super Saiyan 2 for the first time. And that alone pulls in a major audience, whether you're an OG Dragon Ball fan been watching for years or you're a new kid. The way they just done it, the Super Saiyan 2 one or the Beast Gohan one, it's something so unique in the anime / manga world. But even just for Dragon Ball, easily one of the most iconic moments we've seen in the series thus far. Right, so let's go into his kit. I'm not going to take too much of your time because his kit is quite big considering he's a transforming unit, but I'm only going to address the core parts or the parts that I think you shouldn't leave unread. So briefly, in his pre-transformation state, if you go into his main ability, the thing you want to note is that pre and post gauge fill are completely different things before you transform. His main ability is going to transform him into Beast Gohan, but the key things to notice is that if his gauge is full, he will charge his own unique gauge by 100% immediately after transforming and draw a special arts card. But even though I've addressed those two things, the major problems is the reduction of the enemy's vanishing gauge while also destroying all of your enemy's cards. In doing that, you can get yourself in a scenario where you can easily drop combo, reset the combo compensation, press the green card while they have no vanish, and even if they switch, you're almost guaranteed to hit a blue card. People used to do that all the time, and yes, you could just combo the whole thing, but again, combo compensation would mean that you do less damage. So if you drop the combo intentionally, they can't do anything anyways because they don't have a vanish. So the only thing they can do is either switch out or take the hit, and you're hitting them with a brunt force blue card. That is absolutely nuking their health. So it always made sense to only transform into Beast Gohan once your gauge is filled. Every time he enters the battlefield, he gets 25 ki and 1 card. Ki and cards are always important when entering. It should be a staple in everybody's kit, but it's not. So you know how he fills his gauge? It's by his allies getting hit. So if you're dominating in the game, it makes it harder for you to fill your gauge. So in a sense, your allies getting bullied will force Gohan into his rage. But when your gauge does fill, you'll go type neutral for 30 timer counts, but only for the damage you take. And the other big thing is that he shortens his ally sub counts by 10, which has saved so many people because you'd immediately be able to switch out. Every time an enemy attack is over, he's gonna get cover nullification. And that's for 10 timer counts. That's well more than enough time to start a priority, because in most cases when the enemy's combo ends, they don't have cards, so it's in your favor to be aggressive then. He also stacks damage for every time an enemy is hit with an arts card. He's gonna get 20% damage inflicted for 10 timer counts, and he's also gonna get cover null every time another ally is hit with an arts card. So it gets him ready to switch in and literally dominate. And for a unit that released in 2023, he was one of the few who has a mechanic that is seen almost in every unit this year.
Margin boost saga, damn you.
When the enemy activates a special move, ultimate, or awakened arts and a rising rush, he's going to cancel the enemy's buffs, which means anybody with the ability to nullify endurance, he will cancel those buffs. So running Beast Gohan alongside somebody else who has endurance,
the perfect person who dropped besides him was Gold Tanks, the fat one.
They would be able to survive with the Beast Gohan assist. Post transformation, there are some things that I want to pick up on. His main ability will give him a blue card, give him cover nullification immediately, and also differ based on if he's last stand or not. So when he is last stand, he will fill his own unique gauge to 100% immediately, and also seal the enemy rising rush for 15 timer counts. He's essentially saying, run them hands, no superpowers. Something really cool, but once he's transformed, every 4 timer counts while he's on the battlefield, he will restore his vanishing gauge by 70%. So when you first transform, the ability to just dominate by himself is absurd. Although this can only fill up 3 times, it only applies while he's on the battlefield. And post transformation, he done so much damage, it was very easy to just nuke all 3 of your enemies without switching out. He has the ability to nullify explosive greens. You literally just block it. It's a nice little touch. Post transformation, he fills his gauge through key charge, which is obviously different from the pre-transformation. And when his gauge fills, he'll go type neutral, but not just against damage sustained, it's a full offensive type neutral, which is why he was so dangerous when it came to doing damage. And the biggest 2 factors in his kit, in my opinion, that I haven't even spoke about is his green card and his blue card. So his green card spawns him a blue card, which can happen 2 times. He also gets key, health, and damage inflicted while destroying all of your enemy's special arts cards. But his blue card is where the kicker is. Violent Beast Kick. It's going to restore his vanishing gauge by 70%, which can happen 3 times. It nullifies endurance, which is obviously insane. Then there's a difference based on if his gauge is full or not. So if his gauge is full, he's going to draw a new card when pressing it, gain a Dragon Ball, and also make your enemy weaker by applying the attribute minus 30% to enemy sustained damage card. With all the other factors of him being able to build damage, obviously him transforming so he's going to be more powerful, is literally the easiest formula for victory. Now let's get to the downfall. Now I did speak about him in the festival, but I only addressed his release. There was a lot of ups from there, and that's the thing that really pushed Evoken out while keeping Beast Gohan atop of the game. In the part 2 of the festival 2023, we got Bardock and Goku. You know what that means? That's a Sun family unit, and they were also melee orientated, which means that they paired super well with Beast Gohan, also giving Beast Gohan a protective layer, which was the indestructible. You put them 2 together, you've got an explosive green unit, you've got 2 more elements, so blue and green, then you also got Beast Gohan, who's a one-man army on his own. He doesn't need anybody else to help him, but he does have the extra help. But not just that, even pushing further to the end of the festival, we then got Ultra UI Goku, obviously a Sun Family unit, and instead of people mainly using him on Universe Rep, it just made more sense to use him on Sun Family. So Bardock and Goku, Beast Gohan, Ultra UI, 3 festival units on one team who are completely dominating the game. It gave Beast Gohan the best platform to shine, and honestly, he couldn't have asked for more. Even if he didn't get those Sun Family units to aid him, he still would have been as oppressive, and even on Ultra UI's release, in my opinion anyways, I had him at the number 1 of the game. Ultra UI was insane and his snipe was really annoying, but with Beast Gohan, he could eat that. And on top of that, he's just done more damage with his blue card offensively. So it was more so a debate of, is Ultra UI's gimmicks more valuable to you, or is Beast Gohan just gonna dominate much easier? And I think it's much easier to play Beast Gohan, especially long game, because we all know that UI units in the game always come very, very fragile. So for the festival and continuation for the rest of the year, through January, he was pretty much safe. He didn't have to worry about much and everybody kept using him. But from here, I'd say it's more downhill, or at least rocky, than uphill. Post January, we know that the Dragon Ball Legends devs made a huge effort to push GT. They started the year with Bomku, and Bomku, he had the buff cancellation, but the weak kind. So he cancels buffs from everything except blue cards, which meant that Beast Gohan was one of the few units that could break through him. But Bomku was actually blue, so it wasn't the easiest for Beast Gohan. He has someone to somewhat counter him, even though there's a gap, a small opening for Beast Gohan to go ahead and snipe him. But they also Zenkai'd the Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, who's green. So Bomku had the cancellation of buffs from everything except blue cards, while also having G4 right there as his right hand man to start the GT triumph.
So much for that though.
Now what I will say is Bomku could also be used with Beast Gohan, and this more so just pushed GT to be on the map rather than actually take out Beast Gohan, because Sun Family was still very much relevant. But it's really later in the year, right before the anniversary began, that all the problems existed. There was a couple characters that released that changed the way the game was played for a lot of people. The meta began shifting very rapidly. We entered the era of powerful opponents plus Ultra Super Saiyan 2 Gohan. A common term which we should all be used to, power creep, pretty much hit Beast Gohan, no matter how good his kit was. And this is not a point where he's completely dead or anything, and even right now I wouldn't say that. He's just nowhere near one of the best options in the game. But at this point, he basically lost his utility in the highest ranks. His kit is amazing, the vanish recovery, the blue card damage, you do have to Zenkai buff him, but at this point, because of these units that released that I'm gonna mention, he was no longer one of the best picks on any of his teams to be run. Or even if he was, his teams were pretty much in the water, stuck, as every other team was flourishing. Powerful opponents, Ultra Golden Frieza, Nappa and Vegeta, Super 17, Super Baby 2. These powerful opponents here were crazy. I would say LOE always finds a way to shine at least once a year, but powerful opponents on its own, Ultra Golden Frieza, Super 17, Nappa and Vegeta, or you could put Red Cell on that team, went crazy. The blast meta, because of Super 17, was just too powerful, or even if you wanted to multiple Zenkai buff Golden Frieza, it was just way better, especially with the survivability factors. If it wasn't that, you'd find a way to put Ultra Super Saiyan 2 Gohan with any of those units. Because Ultra Super Saiyan 2 Gohan was such a one-man army unit, the anti-blast, the explosive green, the strike counter, the blue card counter, endurance, he paired very well as a leader slot option with these powerful opponents. Plus, he's a range type unit, which meant that he doesn't synergize the best with Red Beast. Although people did try to put them together, it quickly became realized it wasn't the most optimal build. People were still running Beast Gohan, and I'd say more than anything at this point, it was simply because he's Beast Gohan. Like I mentioned at the start of this video, he has one of the best legendary finishes, his animations are flashy, and his kit is actually very good. So it's not that you couldn't get value out of him, but simply he was somewhat being overshadowed by characters that were more valuable than what Beast Gohan could provide at that time. Now, even though he's lingering around, this is where the decline gets very steep. The anniversary pushing post anniversary to where we are now. Once the anniversary began, it reset the meta once again, as everybody had found their new toys. The Fusion Warriors fusing Super Vegito and fusing Gogeta Blue, everybody wanted to use them, and Fusion Warriors became core. So it was essentially powerful opponents or Fusion Warriors. If we head into part 2, the thing that brought Beast Gohan back just a tiny bit was the release of Ultimate Gohan. Him being such a one-man army unit, people found more relevance to use Beast Gohan again, especially because red protects purple from yellows. Even though Ultimate Gohan didn't need the protection, the double buff cancellation from Beast Gohan and Ultimate Gohan paired very well. But once Ultimate Gohan fell off the boost post anniversary, it became very clear that you shouldn't be running Beast Gohan when there's other options. For example, the powerful opponents with Omega Shenron, or you'd be sticking with Fusion Warriors. If we just fast forward, it basically became him coming in and coming out if there was a Sun family unit that he could be paired with somewhat. But in this case, Majin Buu Saga really took the game by storm, and the only other team that somewhat intercepted them was Movies with the release of Ultra Turles and Triku, because Ultra Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta was such a problem. So at this point, people are running color variation teams, Saiyans, Majin Buu Saga, Powerful Opponent, or Movies, because that's what the meta was built of, which meant Red Beast Gohan had no room to shine alongside a lot of other units. And now we're here in the festival, almost over, and Beast Gohan is pretty much nowhere to be seen. He is a fun unit for sure, but even in a top 20 usage list, for how popular of a character he is, he doesn't even cut it. And that's a steep fall. But what I will say, I will give him props, he just about made it to over a year, because he was a headliner for the first part of the 2023 festival. Now, even though this is a downfall video, and this segment is still recorded prior to the Ultra releasing, if it's Beast Gohan, there'll be an added segment at the end of this video. One thing I do want to give Beast Gohan respect for is that his ability to come back is unmatched. The foundation in his kit is so solid that any opportunity for Hybrid Saiyans or Sun family to get buffs, he will find a way to sneak back in and players will begin using him again. I think there's a number of factors for this. He's very autopilot. I've mentioned this with Ultra Vegito Blue. With Beast Gohan, his cover nullification is very easy to access. He has blue cards that give him vanish, so he can do high damage while also staying on the battlefield without having to switch out. His buff cancellation make him a good unit for his teammates. If you have any other endurance units, since his release, he's there to support. He'll cancel the buffs so they can at least get their endurance knocked out but still stay alive. And let's talk about his element, but not specifically his element to counter what exists in the meta, but I think it's the fact that because of his element and tags, he's able to get a lot of support. Pan is also red, so people run double red, but if you look at the Movies or Hybrid Saiyan red Zenkai buffers, boy is there so many. Just to mention a few, Super Saiyan Trunks, Super Janemba, Great Saiyaman 1 and 2. This makes it super easy to make Beast Gohan look like he's in prime form even when he's not. So even though this video is formatted to talk about his downfall, I have to commend his ability to always come back, because even when you're watching this video, he might be super relevant right now just because of the way his kit works. He's one of those units I don't think will be getting a Plat or a Zenkai anytime soon. I'd literally be shocked if he does. He offers too much even a whole year later, and I imagine he's going to last even longer. Maybe not being relevant right now because, like I said, nobody's using him, but that doesn't mean you should sleep on him, because you give him one buff in any of his departments, teams, elements, or just drop a new unit that can somehow work well with him, he will make a return. His comeback game is just way too strong. So all of a sudden I've transformed, got a haircut, you know, time has passed, they actually dropped the Ultra Beast Gohan. I did actually put that in my predictions, so I'm not mad about it or anything, but I was already prepared for Red Beast to make a return because I actually respect this unit a lot. The last segment was recorded in the same bunch as everything else in this video, but this segment obviously is recorded at a different time. Now in the present time, we know Ultra Beast was the Ultra that released. I've been waiting a bit to see how PvP would look, if Red Beast would actually become a very relevant unit, and I have seen him being run here and there, but I wouldn't say he's as dominant as he could have potentially been. People definitely are using him though, without a doubt, and at the time I'm making this video, there hasn't been another top 20 list to see if he's being put back in the top 20 usage. But I think it should go without saying that he does have a lot of value now, simply because he's red, so he can counter the two big yellows, Ultra Majin Vegeta and Beast Gohan, while also pairing with Beast Gohan. The buff cancellation is nice, but you need an endurance unit to make the most use of it. I feel that third could be Gotenks, but I don't know how comfortable a lot of you guys are running two reds. Regardless, you gotta give Red Beast your props. I'm telling you, give him any buff that isn't even specific to him and he will find a way to be used. He's that type of guy. Already said it in the last segment, you gotta give it to him. But yeah man, that's going to be the end of the video. Hopefully you guys did enjoy this video, man. Beast Gohan's one of the greatest units that we've ever seen in Dragon Ball Legends history. Some people for some reason try to paint me as a hater of this guy, but truly in some cases he just wasn't relevant. He's one of those units people like and will love to defend, and he will get you places because his kit is good. But in some conversations, it's just about who's a better option and not calling people bad. For analogy purposes, if you put any other shooter next to Call of Duty or Fortnite, that doesn't mean the game is bad, but you're just not on their caliber. And then if you want to put Call of Duty next to GTA, you might want to just put the fries in the bag if you're a Call of Duty defender, but that doesn't make the game bad, does it? And in some cases, the meta just works like that. But much love to Beast Gohan. Let me know you guys' thoughts in the comment section. Hopefully you guys did enjoy this video. If you haven't already, make sure to press the subscribe button. We're on this grind to 200,000 subscribers. I appreciate you guys for watching, man. My name's Zakashi, guys, and I'll see you guys in the next one, man.